Hello, everybody. Welcome to Vintage Craft and Chat. If you're new here, we go live every Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. We do junk journaling, vintage style crafting, chit-chatting, all that kind of thing. And today we have a really fun project. I want to say hello to Kathy. Yes, Kathy, that was too long yesterday. Yeah, I had a hard time getting things done as well. So Kathy's talking about Leanne and I. Yesterday we did our Wednesday tutorial series for little golden book journals that we've been, what week are we in? I'm terrible with numbers. I think we're going into our 5th week, maybe. Our 6th week, maybe not counting the introduction. And we were on for a really long time yesterday. We were just chatting and crafting we were on for 4 hours. It was way too long. I didn't get enough stuff done yesterday. So we're not doing that today. In fact, I will probably kind of move through the projects and then we can do a little chit-chatting after. You guys can chat amongst yourselves while I'm crafting. So let me say that the supplies are in the description below. I always include the supplies. I try to get the thumbnail up as early as possible in the week. I try to get it up by the weekend. Sometimes it's early in the week. It depends on if I have finalized the craft that we'll be doing on Thursdays. And I also wanted to say that I am now including links in the supply list. A lot of my supplies I purchase on Amazon, my glues, my inks, all that kind of stuff. And I applied to be an Amazon affiliate or associate. I think there's a period of time where there has to be so many sales before you get approved, but I'm slowly starting to put the links in. I think I put them in for the last 2 craft and chats we did. And for this one, and I may go back to some of my older videos. Some of my older tutorial videos have like 1,000+ views on them. So I may go back into those and start putting them in. But I want to definitely tell you, don't pay anything extra. If you purchase through those links, it's the same price that you pay, that I would pay, that everybody pays. And my thought is any little proceeds that I get from that, I guess they pay out a commission. I'm not sure what it is, but then I can invest it back into craft supplies for all of us here. So that was my thought on that. And okay, I'm going to turn the camera around and let me swing it around and then we will get started. I hope everybody's having a really good day. I'm having a good day. Already getting a lot done. Been very busy today already, so that's good. Let me put my laptop back a little bit here and let me straighten out for you guys, because that would drive me crazy to have a crooked view. So what we are making today, and this is my thought process, was I wanted to do something that kind of spoke of Father's Day. I let Mother's Day go by. I was busy with other things going on, and certainly the other tutorial series that Leanne and I have going on. So I felt so bad. I kind of let the opportunity to do something specific for Mother's Day go by, but I thought, okay, I need to do something for Father's Day. And I came up with these fun, what I'm calling collage art cards, excuse me. And I think they're pretty versatile. I think you can do quite a bit with them. So this particular card, I've actually been displaying, shoot, I should have grabbed them. I've been displaying this. I have a little display set up in my crafting area, and I've been putting mine in a flower frog. You know what? I am going to go grab this other thing because it is very, very, very cool, very, very fun. I was rummaging around in my treasures in the garage and I found this really cool, what do we call this? A clamp. It's palm. Oh, I can't even read what it says. Palm. Oh, maybe CREN. But it's this really cool vise. And so I've been displaying my card, which I think is really fun. I don't know if we can kind of see it in the overhead, but isn't that fun? It's a cute way to display our cards and ephemera, that kind of thing. I can also turn it around. I'm going to put that down on the floor, but I've been having fun with that. And the other thing that you can do, certainly a lot of us have these spiky flower frogs, so you can display it that way. And then this is also a great thing that can become the front of a junk journal. So the way that we're making this card, it has lots of applications. So I think that would be great as a topper to a journal. And then the other thing certainly you can do is to make it into a card. So I just took some watercolor paper, I just ripped the edges, and then you can also take another piece of, like, say, scrapbook paper or coffee or tea dye paper. And I didn't glue it down. We can do that later if we want. And then this can be your writing space, and you can come in and ink up the edges. And I thought that would be a really fun and very special Father's Day card for any special man in your life. And we'll put that aside. A vice. Yes, isn't it cool, Kathy? I don't know even where I got that. It might have been my stepdad's. I can't remember. It's been out in the garage. Those are the kind of strange things, I guess, that I love. I love industrial kind of cool things like that. I'm taking a drink of water. I probably saw it and knew that would be really great for decorating. And the other thing that I wanted to, so here's our card. And actually, let me go over the supplies really quick, even though they're down below. We'll be using glue, handy dandy glue stick, art glitter glue, cutter bees. Those are kind of a good go-to. The other thing that I came across in my stash that I'm using for the collage is this bag. I don't even know where I got it from. It's just been in my paper stash for a long time. So this is a good thing if you have anything like this, like wrapping paper. You can certainly come in and cut the images out. So I thought that was a fun thing. I will put that aside. I am using some antique papers that I photocopied, and we'll talk about that. But you don't have to have antique papers. There's tons of these, like, reproduction looking papers that you can get. They're all over the place. You can get them in craft stores. You can find them on Amazon, all kinds of places. Oh, you have a smaller one, Kathy? It's cool. Have you used it for display? Hi, Anitra. How are you? I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I think you were with us yesterday. We were on for a long time yesterday. So today will be a much shorter day. I'm very glad you're here. Let's see. Kathy says from a pharmacy that sells greeting cards. Very interesting. Very interesting. So we can find these. You can find printables online. I'm using some of these. Again, they're just, I want to say, reproduction tickets that are readily available. Tim Holtz has a bunch of this kind of looking ephemera in his line. A lot of this is really easy to find. And then, of course, you can recreate your own with stamps. And I'll be using this stamp set. I've just been using this stamp set for everything. It's my new favorite. And the other thing that I'm using today are the Tim Holtz Paper Dolls. And I'm happy to say this is the first project that I've done with these paper dolls, and I've had them for probably several years, and I haven't done anything with them. And I made this cute little holder here for my guys. I need to make one I sort of separated them by like girls and boys and females. And so far I've just gotten through making the ephemera little sticker ephemera holder for the guys. So we'll be working with those today. And then here are, hi Amy, good morning. Hope you're having a good day. I'm glad you're here. So this was kind of a fun thing that we talked about yesterday. So for this particular card, over the weekend, I had pulled out a bunch of my antique and vintage ephemera. So this was a piece that I had in my drawer and in my collection, and I thought it was so cool. And I had fun with just sort of getting things out and making photocopies. And yesterday we were talking about printers and quality of printers, and I was saying, well, mine isn't that great, and we kind of started this whole discussion. So yesterday I said, well, I am going to photocopy, and then I'm going to test to see what happens when I scan it. So this was just a straight photocopy. I just put it right on the glass and photocopied it. And I think it's really good. In fact, the original is much more yellow, which I kind of don't like. It kind of boxes me in, I think, a little bit when I'm using it. So I think it looks great, and I like the creaminess. So it definitely changes the color, but we're still getting the reds. The writing is kind of a navy. I think it's still sort of coming through. It looks good, right? Yeah, very, very, very happy with that. And then I did a little test to see what it would look like if I scanned it. So this was a scan copy, and then I printed it, but I did adjust the contrast on this one. So I didn't play with the color at all, but I adjusted the contrast because I wanted the lettering to be a little bit darker. So by doing that, it actually made the color a little more closer to the original, but I'm happy with both of these. I might have to change my opinion on my copy or on my printer. So those are good. All right. I think, yes, they look really, really good. So that's what I used for the backdrop of this one. And I just made single copies of everything. So I actually used something for the little demo, and I'm going to put those aside. Let's see. You know what? And let me pull out, I should have pulled out the other ones. I made some, so like these were some other copies I made. I didn't pull out my originals. And let's see here. I've already kind of ripped into them, but they're good, right? I'm really happy. Some antique envelopes I had, and I had posted a picture on Instagram. So these are the fronts of the checks, and then these are the backs of the checks, because I thought those would be really fun to collage with, and you can actually see the writing through them. So I'm happy. In fact, I pulled out some really cool, like red, white, and blue postage. Oh, this is a good one too. And that's a copy. Wait, is this a copy? Oh, it's so good. Yes, this is a copy. I have a bunch of antique kind of store receipts, I guess these are. 1880 something. But that's good too. Look at the reds and the grays. So I'm going to change my mind. I think my printer's working okay. And as Debbie and Joyce were saying yesterday, to get comfortable with, and Kathy, you were saying that too, to get comfortable with the different settings. So I think I will enjoy playing around with that a little bit more. Let's see, the two, yeah, so I did one. So one I did that was just a straight photocopy. I just laid it right on the glass, and I put a, piece of white paper on the back of it. So this one is just a straight photocopy. So the original is definitely much more yellow, but I actually like the fact that it takes away some of the yellow. But I think it's pretty good. Like, even look at the stamp, because this is an actual stamp on there. So I'm happy, and I like the creaminess. So that was photocopy, Amy. And then this one I scanned and then went into my photos and printed it. I saved it as a photo. But this one, I actually played with the contrast a little bit. So I adjusted the contrast because I was trying to get the red, like the red check mark. And I was trying to get the, which is like a navy blue. I was trying to get the writing to be a little bit more crisp. So here's photocopy, and it's not that much different. Either one I'm super happy with. And you're always adjusting. You always adjust the color. Kathy, do you do it on the printer screen or you do it? I always play, like, all my photographs. On my photographs, I always adjust them when I download photos from my phone for like product photos or, you know, photos for my thumbnails. I always do, but I don't, yeah, I'm not, I do have to get more familiar with doing it on the copy. Yeah, so both. So we have both ways. Save them and adjust. Okay, yeah. And this other package that I came across that I had bought again years ago, and it's all kind of red, white, and blue labels, like shipping labels and postage labels, like really cool airmail stuff. So I will be playing around with that because I'd love to use that in like a patriotic, some kind of patriotic project that we'll do. So this is kind of the little layout that I came up with for the one that we'll be making together. I'm going to kind of disassemble it a little bit. And I'm always big on talking about coming up with a layout, because this may look difficult, and it didn't happen like super quick. I had to play around with the layout till it was pleasing to my eye, until I liked it. But once you come up with the general layout, then it makes, if you're making multiples, it becomes much easier, I have to say. So don't feel intimidated by it. It's kind of like figuring out where all the puzzle pieces go, you know, if you want to think about it that way. And what I used for the base, I actually used, I don't know, it was like it was from my daughter's college. She was in an art show there at the junior college, and I had picked up a bunch of these like postcard flyers, and we kept some one for her, and then I had some extra ones. So it basically, I just upcycled a probably, it's like a postcard size. So this is, let me give you the measurements. Yeah, it's 6 by 4. So 4 by 6 is the size. And I just wrapped it. In the paper. In fact, I didn't even use glue stick or any glue here. I just got ahead of myself and I started wrapping it, and I just glued the edges down. But this is why it would be so easy to attach it to something else. And then the back for the one that we'll be doing here together, I just took a piece of cardstock. I just had some cardstock in my, and I think I made it probably close to it. Yeah, 4 by 6 is what I did for that one. And because I only had one copy of this one, I started playing around with these checks that I had photocopied. So the fronts of the checks and the back of the checks. And what did I'm going to think back to what I did. So what I did was I just kind of came in here and I thought, I just tested it. I didn't tear down the whole thing yet, but I just wrapped it around to sort of get an idea of, okay, I like that. It's very similar. Very, very similar to the other one. And I think because I'm happy with that, I'll go ahead and tear these down. And I do like, sometimes I'll use scissors, but I do love that one. That wasn't super clean there. to do the rest with my fingers. I like a torn edge. I think that gives it some interest. So I did it with the ruler here. I tore this edge, this one. Yeah, so all four edges are torn. Just gives it even more interest. Do the same with this one. And we'll keep those pieces for something else. And the other thing we want to do, so this particular one, I wrapped it in like this coffee tea stain paper because I knew my images wouldn't cover the whole thing. And then let's come in and ink. And actually, you know what? Before we do that, one of the gifts I received from my kids for Mother's Day were these little kind of tiny Tim Holtz Distress inks. So I already have the vintage photo, but really quick, I want to stop and see what the black soot and the walnut and this antique linen looks like. So I'm going to grab a piece of, see if I have, I feel like I always have paper here. In fact, I have some copy paper in my trash. And I just want to see what these inks look like. So maybe we'll want to use the walnut. And I'll get some clean daubers. Ooh, I like that. I already like that. In fact, I think we'll use that. Okay, so that's the walnut. Here is my go-to vintage photo that I've been using for years, and these last forever. Let's try the tea stain. Now, when I've watched other people use the tea stain, it seems to be, well, the cover here is sort of yellow. So I'm anxious to see what that will look like. Let's put the right top on the right one. Maybe let's go over here. And then I'll unfold it. We'll see. Oh, that's pretty too. But that definitely wouldn't show up much on this coffee stain. So, but really nice for white paper. I think I will enjoy those. That one went with that. That's with that. And then this, it's already black because I've been using it with my other inks that were not distress inks. But rather than get a new one, I'll just reuse it because I think it's still fine. Let's see. Let's fold that. Nice. And I'm glad to have the black soot because I've just been using just regular kind of ink you would to stamp, and it gets really, really smudgy. So I'm glad to have that. All right, so that's fun. So here's the walnut, which I'm loving. I can already tell that's one I'll be using a lot. Here's my tried and true vintage photo that I've using forever. Here is the, let me say the right name, the antique linen, which is beautiful. And then here's the black soot. So really cool. Really, really cool. Okay, so here is our base, and let me use let's use the walnut. I think that'll be nice, and even a better contrast than the vintage photo, I think would be. And give a little bit more attention to the corners. I hope everybody's having a happy Thursday. We're still in the very June gloom. Well, I always say June gloom, but even though it's May, we're in the gloomy gray weather here still. I should put something underneath, but I'm just gonna go for it. All right, I like that. Let's see, did Kathy say something? No, she didn't. Okay. All right, so there we go. And then let's see, let's play. I might even rip these down. I think I'm actually going to rip these down a little bit more. I like the idea of the edges showing. I'm going to do it this way. I usually have more success if I have the larger piece of paper on the right versus the left. Let me see here. Let's maybe rip these down a little bit more. And yeah, I think that's enough. This one I'm going to cut. I have a little bit of white here that I don't really like. Well, maybe I'll rip it. It's really hard to get narrow rips. I didn't get really close enough to that where the photo paper was. I like that. Let's see what this one is like here. I think that's pretty good. All right. Maybe we'll use a little bit of this black soot, but we'll be really kind of light. We'll be really kind of light with it. We won't be heavy-handed. Ooh, I like that look. I think that's cool. I think that'll give us some nice contrast. And we can actually use both. We can mix the black with the brown. I like that a lot. Oh, that's so nice, Kathy. It's nice that you're having good weather. So weird. My parents live out in the desert, like Palm Springs area, and they've just been, well, of course it is the desert, but they've been having so much sunshine and great weather, and we're just gloomy, but that's normal for us this time of the year. Plus, we're fairly close to the coast, so we get that fog that rolls in. I think I'll use a little bit of my vintage photo. And it's very cool how you can take like a reproduction. It's something you've printed off the internet, something you photocopy like I've done, and just make it look even more aged. It's one of the things I love about these distress inks. Kind of do that over the top of it. Okay. We are liking that. And I think I had that one at the bottom. And I think we'll put this writing to the right, just so we can see a little bit more of it. And I'm just going to use my glue stick. Where's my, get some things out of my way here. It's the guy that we'll be using today. Kind of clear off the decks a little bit. And here's my glue stick. I am almost ready to place that big glue stick order on Amazon for all the glue sticks we want to test. I probably should post in the community tab, like we were talking about, maybe see if there's any others that people recommend. And then I'll have to figure out how we want to do that test. I'll have to do it in a way like to keep, I'll have to have things that are the same, right, that I'm gluing. Same type of paper. I'll have to mark everything. See, like this isn't sticking down very well. Okay, so there's our first one. So our second, we'll look at the alignment a little bit. Let me grab my guy. I want to make sure, because I kind of had him, I think I'm actually going to drop this down. So I sort of had him, my thoughts were to sit him here. So he looks like, let's see, what do we like? Either his elbow is kind of resting on the top of the paper, and then he looks like he's sort of sitting on this little design here. So I think we'll do this and then we'll kind of see. We'll fold that down. Let's see here. Or I can have him sitting there. Let's see. Yeah, and we might not even use one of these, or maybe we'll come in and do, maybe we'll do like a smaller one. So this guy I had sitting, he was sort of sitting on that block. So maybe this one will kind of put one down there. So I think I like that. We will make it work. Let's maybe do that about like that. I know I'm not happy with the glue stick. I'm excited to do the test because I really want to find a glue stick that I love. Paper came off there. So I'm actually looking forward because I can't say that I've ever had a glue stick that is like, okay, this I'm smitten. This is the one. This is the one. I think art glitter glue is the only glue. Whoops, I didn't ink that. Is the only one that I would never want to be without. That is my favorite go-to. See, now we're all dry, so I have to apply it again. And I'm hit or miss on whether I love Fabri-Tac because I don't like how it gets really gummy. Maybe I need to put it in a different container and add. I read that if you add, what is it? Fingernail polish remover, just the clear, like the regular one, that it makes it much looser. And I actually looked to do that like a week ago, but the fingernail polish remover we had, it had like oils or something in it, you know, like lotiony oil kind of thing. So I did not want to try that. Okay, so here's our guy. Don't let me forget, I want to ink him up too. Let's see here. Kind of thinking how I want this. I kind of like this one though too. I like that this one where we sort of have the checks going. I'm thinking he's kind of a banker, like a money guy. I like this right here, how it says big money. I don't know if it'll show, but maybe we'll see. I'd like to look for some more of this, even if I can just find the bags. I bet I can find the bags because I think this has a lot of applications. Yeah, I think I like that. And then if we're looking at what we did here, we kind of have our little puzzle, our little layout going. I kind of like that up there. Oh, I forgot about this. I have this sort of book page here going on in the background. I think I like that. We definitely need to ink that up though. I think that gives it a little bit more interest. What else did I have? Oh, I had pulled out, I'm not sure if I like this one though now. We'll play around with it and see if we like it. This one I pulled out was green. And I actually went and stamped, actually that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to commit with this. We'll get this one glued down because we know we want that at the top. And maybe I'll give it some of this black soot. And the interesting thing that I found, so this I stamped with my red ink, and this one I also stamped with the red ink, but I had used this stamp with black ink prior, and I like the kind of maroon color it gave me. I wish this was like in a maroon. But I think that I probably need to look for an ink that's maroon. Oh, I missed Tammy coming in. Hi, Tammy. I know it was like way too long. I think I said to Leanne at one point, if you get tired, let me know. And then I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't think we're ever going to be on that long again. 4 hours. That was a lot. Kathy's saying she has better luck with school glue, except when I have to re-wet the page because then it reactivates probably. Yeah. I know I've seen people that just use a plain old Elmer's glue. I don't know. A manufacturer needs to come up with something that's, I feel like there's a lot that could be done in the glue world, especially for paper crafters. Oh my gosh, Tammy, 90 and feels like 92. Oh my goodness. Remind me, Tammy, where you're located. Let me see. I'm going to rip this. I should know that, but I probably didn't keep that in my head. I'll keep that little piece there. Yeah, I definitely want to get like a kind of a deep red or a maroon ink. I think that's something I definitely would use a lot, especially the holidays at what did I say, Easter, at Christmas. I think that would be something that would come in handy. And this book page was cool. You can't see it as much, but this one, it actually had something to do with like a father and kids, and that was just a happy thing. It just happened to be the page that I picked out. We'll get that one glued down first. Yeah, I think that's a good spot. And where's my pencil? I'm gonna just mark that lightly. That's been my new trick, is marking things with a pencil, because I can't tell you how many times I've had my layout all set and then I go to put it down and I've moved something. So we'll put that down. I like that. Let's ink this one up a little bit. I'm looking at my phone more. Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, Tallahassee. Okay, that's why. Florida. Yeah, Florida gets very hot, very humid. I think I've only been to Florida once, and it was in the middle of summer, like August. in it. I remember it. The heat doesn't bother me. I love heat. I love being at my parents' in the desert when it's warm. I don't mind it at all. I enjoy the heat. It's the humidity I think I'm not used to. I'll just recheck this again. Yeah, I like that there. And then we'll play around with the ticket a little bit. Make sure we like that ticket. I think that's good. And let's get our little, what did I do? Did I pull those out? Oh yeah, I did. Let's see. I think I liked this one. Let's see what else we have. These are more kind of train. I like the color of that green one. I think a lot of these are too similar. This one was good because it was yellow, but most of these have that. Yeah, these are all super close. So maybe we will do that green. I don't even know where that green one came from. I don't know if it's a Tim Holtz or this one's kind of interesting, but it's Led Zeppelin. That's probably that's a little too modern. Yeah, these are all beigey. Dick Clark's Where the Action Is. Yeah, I don't think any of these go. Let's see. What is Tammy saying? Let me ask y'all a question. Like I have said, I've been so overwhelmed starting this, and I'm starting to realize that I'm leaning more to collaging instead of all junk journals. Is that okay? Yes, it's very okay. I think the thing with paper crafting, whether you're collaging, whether you're junk journaling, I mean, I've sort of been watching a lot of videos lately of altered books. That sort of interests me. But I think if you love collaging, Tammy, I would get a piece of paper and just go through some magazines or go through some books. I think magazines are a great entryway to collaging because they're virtually free, right? There are things that people discard, and there's so many great images in magazines. So I think grab a piece of paper, grab a magazine or whatever, a travel flyer, whatever interests you, and just start ripping. Get your scissors, get a ruler, and just sit there, and it's so relaxing. Just rip out some images and then see what you come up with. Let's see. Yeah, and as Amy says, she tries all sorts of crafts. So I think sometimes with craft, sometimes we get really stuck with the starting because it's just overwhelming. We're taking a lot of information in, and it just gets really overwhelming to start. But I think if you just sit down, and even if it's simple as pulling things out of a magazine or a flyer or something, and just gathering those images, and then maybe a couple days later sit down and start just gluing them. Get a glue stick and glue them down. So a master board, but if you're collaging, you don't necessarily need to do a master board. Let me pull one out. I have a couple here that I did. So this is what a master board is. So it's just, and I just used a piece of cardstock that I had laying around, but you could grab something that came in the mail. You could grab an envelope, and a master board is just sticking down pieces of paper. That's all it is. So this is the first masterboard that I ever did, and it's very random. I just kind of did it all willy-nilly. What do I have in here? I have some old wallpaper. I have book pages. I have sheet music, dictionary. This is some like Japanese washi paper, you know, that you would make origami out of. Here's something from an envelope. Like well, it's not a, I don't know what it is. It looks like a stamp, but I'm not sure. These were things that this was something that I have in my collection, and I photocopied because I didn't want to use the original. It was like an antique floral thing, and I just photocopied it. So in map, here's some map and some like craft paper. So that's one of the first ones. So that's all a masterboard is. It's just a piece of paper with other bits and scraps of paper glued onto it. I've started making my masterboards a little bit more uniform just because they would be a base for making, say, a gift tag or a journaling card. And so I tend to, but again, I'm making, you know, in a different way. I like the uniformity. So I just do random squares and rectangles. And I just like the look of that. It's pleasing to the eye, and it's a nice neutral base for, say, I could have built this collage on a masterboard. I easily could have designed this on a masterboard like that. So that's all it is. So I just say, just get some stuff and just start playing with it and gluing. Let's see. Amy is saying, where do you put your collected ephemera? I have some books I want to cut up to craft with. So what I do with my books is I don't take them apart. I leave them whole, and then I'll just take out the pages that I like as kind of as I find a need for them. And sometimes if I don't use that page, I'll put it back in. But then I always mark my books because I have so many books in my collection. I'm afraid of, say, ripping a page out, and then I don't want to sell it on Etsy or, you know, do a live sale or something, end up selling it to somebody where I've removed pages. So I just put like a little sticky note or something in there to remind me that I've already started sourcing out of the book. So I don't sit down and take them all apart. Like here's one that I was sourcing out of yesterday, and I used something from this page, but then I ended up sticking it back in here. I find that's a great way to kind of keep myself organized, because then otherwise I feel like I'll have a lot of folders and receptacles for things, and then that gets to be a little bit crazy. Kathy's saying, yes, my junk journals are mostly just collages. I haven't added any ink or other things that Julie adds. Yeah. So you don't need to have the ink. You just have to have some kind of glue. Glue stick, I think, works easiest for collaging. That's always my go-to for collaging. You don't need the art glitter glue. You don't need any of the fancy stuff. And you could even do this, Tammy. You can just take brown paper bags. You could use brown paper bags even as your, you know, I use that. In fact, I was doing something last night. I was working, I was working on something, and I was using just these like brown paper bags from Trader Joe's that had bread or something in it. So once you start looking at things, you kind of be surprised. Like, see, this is one I've been working off here. Yeah, and I would that's what I would do. I just grab a magazine. I would just grab something and then just start kind of pull out the images that kind of spark something in you, right? That kind of that you gravitate towards for some reason. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Anitra's saying, what is the name of the glue you use for all this? So my favorite glue, the one that I always will say is my favorite, is art glitter glue. But if I'm gluing something that's, say, large, like, well, this isn't particularly large. What would be something that's large? Well, obviously you saw that I used the glue stick for some of the things I was gluing down today. So once you've been doing it for a while, you kind of get a feel, okay, well, this thing is a glue stick kind of thing. And maybe this thing is an art glitter glue. Like, I won't use glue stick for this one just because it's a little slick on the back. And once we glue this down, I'll use the art glitter glue. But I often will glue something down with my glue stick, and then I'll come in on the edges because sometimes the edges lift or the corners lift, and then I like to come in with my art glitter also because it has this little pointy thing. And I have to say, art glitter glue has no glitter in it. I do not know why they named it art glitter glue, but it doesn't have anything to do with glitter. And it dries very quickly. That's the other thing. You don't really have any move time. So once you've stuck your thing down with the art glitter glue, you're done. It's there. I mean, you could come back and rip it up, but then you probably will rip what's underneath it. You have much more playtime with the glue stick, for sure. I use glue. Kathy says I use glue, school glue, and Mod Podge, and I've been using Mod Podge much more lately. I've been playing with Mod Podge. In fact, the project I was working on last night, that'll pop up here at a future craft and chat, I was using Mod Podge. So I've been trying a little bit more. I've been playing with some different glues to find what I like, and I like Mod Podge for some applications. I think it's good, and I'll have a craft probably in a couple weeks that will use Mod Podge. So I hope that answers your questions. Yeah, glue for me has been a journey to find one that I like. And of course, if you're gluing fabric or trim, rickrack, and I even use this to glue buttons down, is Fabri-Tac. This stuff is really good. It's just really sticky. It doesn't flow. It comes out kind of globby. So I don't love it. I wish it was a little more free flowing like the art glitter glue. And that's the other thing about the art glitter glue. When it comes out, it's just very smooth. It's easy to apply. It's very smooth. Yeah. Hi, Brett. Hello. You ditched the Mod Podge for gel medium. What kind of gel medium do you use, Brett? In fact, I was watching, I think it was, I don't know who it was. I was watching somebody and they were using the adhesive or like gel medium, and it was like in a pot, like a tub. And I kind of said to myself, I think when I'm done with my Mod Podge, or I just have this little Dollar Tree one, but I may invest in that. It has like a screw top or something to it. Art glitter glue, Mod Podge and glue stick. Now I just used Fabri-Tac for gluing the fabric to junk journal. Yeah, Fabri-Tac works really good for fabric. And I recently bought this one, and I was hoping that it would be a good replacement for the Fabri-Tac, but it stays really wet for a long time. Kind of hard to describe. Like, it stays cool feeling and wet. So I did use this, I think, on one of my little golden book journals, but it took a very, 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 very extremely long time to dry, and I'm not sure if I loved it. So I haven't really been recommending it, but I know the Tombow has a glue stick that everybody loves, and that'll be one of the glue sticks I'll be trying. Let's see. And Kathy says she hasn't tried her. Yeah, I would love to know what, and if I'm thinking that that's the right thing, where it comes in a tub with like a screw top. I've seen people use that. Okay, let's see. What do we have going on here? Oh, we are going to, let's give this a little bit of inking here. I love this black soot. I'm enjoying this. I tease my husband and my son because Taylor, my daughter, she's just like, I'm kind of the de facto, right? I'm the gift buyer in the family with anybody's, birthdays and right. That just happens. That just happens to some of us. And so as she's gotten older, she's become the gift buyer. I guess she's like my husband's personal shopper or my son's personal shopper when it's for me, like gifting for me. But she knows what I love. So let's use the art glitter glue. So it's really, and I was just talking about her because she picked out these little tiny inks were part of my Mother's Day gift. And let's see, I'm actually gonna bring that up a little bit. And this stamp was part of the photocopied checks. So that stamp was already there for anybody that's come in. And it's there. It is down. It's not going anywhere. If I were to rip that up, it would probably tear all the paper that's underneath it. I'm just continuing to check. I like my placement. I kind of wish, well, I can't now. I put that one down a little bit too low. Let's see, we liked this. Maybe we'll go ahead and put that on. And I'll use the art glitter. Art glitter is great with this little fine tip. I love the little fine metal tip, and it flows. And even though it's a little bit more pricey, I bought this bottle. Oh my gosh. I keep forgetting to look to see when I purchased it, but it was a very long time ago. And I recently purchased, you can buy a larger refill for it. And I just assumed that I would have had to have filled it up already. I'm surprised I haven't, because I think I bought that like a month ago. And I use it all the time. It's one of my daily. You know what? I kind of lifted that, so I'm gonna rip that because I had that going for his elbow to rest on. So I'm gonna take advantage of that. I'm gonna ink that up. And I'm going to glue it down so it looks like it was just kind of ripped. It's kind of part of the look that we're creating. Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah. The art glitter glue, I've always purchased it on Amazon. I've looked at Joann's. I haven't looked at Michael's, but I'm pretty sure I looked to see last time, and that was probably last year sometime, to see, and I don't know that any of the craft stores carry it. So I've just always bought it at Amazon. And like I said, it lasts for a very long time. Let's see. Brett says the jar of gel medium is based on how many ounces you buy at a time. The way I utilize products, I prefer their flip top bottles that you squirt. So I buy large size on sale and refill my flip tops. That is a good way to do it. Nice. Hi, Terry. Hello. Glad you're here. Hope you're having a good day. What are you up to today? Are you crafting? Are you creating? Okay, good. That gives us a little, I like that we have a little rest for his elbow there. I'm liking that much better. And then this was one of the stamps they did. Now I'm not liking it as much. Let's see. What else do we have? This one, I felt the really large one worked. I'm not so sure if the large one. Well, that's not that bad. What do we think? What do you all think? Maybe that's not too bad. Because I think I like incorporating a circle. We have lots of straightness going on. In fact, everything is straight lines. Obviously not the handwriting there, but we have an awful lot of straight lines going on, which is why I like this circle here and why I kind of picked that circle. But I think that's the best size. If we are going to use this stamp set, let's see. Yeah. I feel unless we could put it up here. I mean, that would work well too. So we have the big one there. And we have that one. I kind of like the smaller one. The big one does cover up a lot of this cool writing, and I don't mind that because that kind of fills in the space. Hi, Angela. Hello, how are you? Guess what I found, Angela? Guess what I found? I finally found some. I found them at I went to a second Dollar Tree and I found them. I don't think I said that. I don't think you've been in here since. And it was a 3-pack. And I am so regretting that I didn't buy more because I love them. They're totally my new favorite thing. Let's see, Kathy's saying she has a perfect pick. Well, it doesn't have to be for a father. I don't think. I'm not going to gift this to my dad. Maybe I will. I don't know. I created this a week or two ago and I've just had mine on display. I have it with a bunch of antique books and some cool kind of metal things. And I just have a little vignette going on. So it's kind of for Father's Day, but I'm just keeping it for myself because I like it. But it won't probably get made into a Father's Day card. If I gave it to my husband, I would just be grabbing it back to put on display. So I guess I could do that. But yeah, it's totally for me. It's totally for me. Oh, do you have them too, Anitra? Aren't they great? Yeah, and they sell them at Dollar Tree. Angela was the one that turned us on to them, and she was like Googling it when we were on one day, and so I went to one Dollar Tree. They didn't have any, and then like a week and a half later, I went to a different location, and they did, and I totally regret that I didn't. And I shared them. I have an upcoming haul that's coming out, I think on Sunday, and I didn't even want to wait to open them. I opened them last weekend because I couldn't stand my paper bin. It was driving me crazy. Angela said she just got home from the dentist. Oh my gosh. You were waiting for 3.5 hours and still couldn't really get anything done. Oh no. Oh no, are you in pain, Angela? Oh, was it like a first come, first serve, or did they have other surgeries that ran longer? Oh dear. My son needs to have his out, but they're not causing any issues. So maybe we'll look at this summer, maybe the summer after. But my daughter did she have 2 removed? At least one she had to have removed on an emergency basis. She was in such extreme pain. So of course they got her in right away. Oh, I hope you're not. Oh, okay. So they were just taking X-rays and checking things. So it was like like getting ready for the surgery. Yeah, that's never fun either. But it keeps it's good. It's like it's a necessary thing. I think I'm gonna make this a little bit more darker. Let's put a little bit more of that black soot. I am loving the black soot. Look at my fingers. I had green on my fingers earlier this morning. I was doing something with the green ink that my daughter also gave me. Oh, I can't see. It's on the other side of the desk. She bought like a large size of the distress ink, but it's sort of it's like a real Kelly green. I would say it looks a little more turquoisey. But I'll get a lot of use out of that around Christmas time. Okay, maybe let's do him first. Do I want now sometimes with the Tim Holtz things, I don't like that they're so thick. I think I'll leave this guy thick. But sometimes I don't. Let's try the walnut. I I wish I mean, I guess they're good that they're thick because you can use them in assemblages and that kind of thing, but I don't always love how thick they are. I need to get some more of these so I don't have to keep removing. I think that's where my fingers get really dirty too. I'll just kind of age him up a little bit, give a little more age to his shirt. He's dark, so it doesn't really, I guess pants are dark. And his hat doesn't really show up here, but we'll give a little bit more to his shirt. And I did to this guy, but see his clothes are so dark. Doesn't really show up. Maybe a little bit on his hat it did. I'm glad I'm finally using these. I pulled out some patriotic ones. I want to do something fun. There's like a patriotic guy and a patriotic girl. Okay, we are going in. And I'm going to use art glitter glue for this, especially because it's this thick cardboard. It's a little bit slick. I really want it to stay down. And it has kind of intricate detail. So it's nice to come in and outline with the art glitter and then go in and fill in. Hope you guys can see that. And he is there. He is not going anywhere. Very cool. Very cool. All right. And we have this little circle here. I think I like that. I'll use the art glitter too because it's small. I think my tendency, if something is a really large surface, I use the glue stick. But if it's something that's smaller piece of paper, I'll use the art glitter glue. And obviously masterboards, any kind of thing like that, I'll use the glue stick. But like I said, I have been enjoying the Mod Podge. Been playing around with that a lot the last couple weeks. Let's see. I think I have to. Yeah, when your mouth is smaller, they have to, yeah, they have to pull. And my daughters, they were just causing all kinds of issue, and the pain was excruciating for the one. I think it was impacted or something. Let's see. Brett says Prima's heavy gel medium is like an awesome 3D glue for making assemblages or wall art. Okay, I'm gonna write down that brand. You guys could see I have so many little notes. I'm going to write it on the back the printer note here. Prima heavy gel medium. Well, that'll be fun to play with. Let's see. Okay, Anitra will be right back. Kathy says, gee, it's a good thing I bought a pint-sized jar of gesso over 10 years ago and never used it. Have you opened it? Is it still good? Oh, still factory sealed. Open it up, Kathy. See if it's see if it's good. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. Did the x-ray look crazy? Oh, you did. Okay, let me go back. Let me see. Okay. Oh, there we go. Let's see, other than Liquitex second tier line, I found the Prima Finnabar gel medium and heavy gel medium, and also both white and clear gessos are great, but a little bit more money. Okay, so I'm going to write that down because of chances of me coming back once I move on to the next thing. Liquitex second. Oh, need a better pen. That pencil's not working. Second tier line. Ooh, I like all this information sharing that we can all do because it's a journey. And then I have the Prima, so the heavy and the medium. So heavy and medium of the Finnabar. All right, good. I'm going to check that out. Let's see. Hi, Joyce. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Hello, hello. Oh my gosh, it's a quart size. Open it up, Kathy. Open it right now. Tell us. But maybe not. Maybe if you if you don't want to use it right now. Okay, and then you could tell it's basic or not by the color of the label for the Liquitex. Okay. Basic or not by label. Awesome. It moves when you shake it, then it's probably good. As long as is it a liquidy move? If it's a liquidy move, then it's good, right? So I think we're done. I think this looks really good. Let's see. Do we want to come in? This one I did a little bit more stamping. I stamped up there. Maybe we'll look. Maybe it could use a little something here. Or I love these. I think Debbie gave these to me. They're king corn stamps. Let me look. I love my my blue chip stamps and things. Let's see. I don't know if blue would look good. Let's see if I could get one of these off here. Sometimes I will come in and just rip them, but they're double-sided. So I feel like I'm wasting. Whoops, I ripped that, but that's okay. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't. Where's the king? Oh, I love these king corn ones. They're so cool. I need to look on eBay and see it, or somewhere, and see if I can get more. I don't know. We might not like it. Maybe, or is that too much? Is it too much? Would maybe be interesting. That's not bad. Sometimes I'm more is more, and sometimes I want to be less is more. It's always a fine line. Let's play around and see. Maybe that would be the last thing. if maybe we want to do a stamp, which that, I kind of like that. That's kind of interesting. I did the agent one. Let's see. Brett is saying, yeah, crack it open. Yeah, crack it open and start using it, Kathy. Crack it open. Yeah, I definitely need, okay, I'll ink up this this blue chip and see. Do we like a number? Do we like a number up here? We have that one. We have that one that's a little longer. I kind of like the thought of something across that writing that's kind of bold. Now I'm giving too many choices here. We also have this, kind of like that big one. I feel like I like those two versus the other one. Let's see here. Okay, let's ink up. Let's ink this up. Let's use a little bit of this real black. And then we could rip it too. That'll give it, let us know if it's, in fact, I'm going to rip off that little side there. I'm going to put a little bit of black and we'll put a little bit of brown. I do kind of like the blue with the, here, I'll use my, yeah, I need some more of these thingies. Okay, so there's the blue. And that gave it a little bit of walnut. Let's see. Oh, good. Okay, good. I'm going to look that up, Angela. Oh, I can't wait to see. Let's see. Kathy says, I've been trying to get these 5 journals done so I can start collages on canvas. I know I get that way where I'm like, okay, I have to get this done and then I can move on to the other. And Brett says, I use it on gesso on paper. You can use it on your journal. Yeah, you could totally crack that open and use it in your journals. Kathy says, Angela, I had the same problem with my teeth. All 4 molars were impacted, but mine were removed when you were 16. Yeah, my poor daughter, she just, she had, my son's teeth, my son has my husband's teeth nice and straight. He didn't need, he could probably use a little bit of straightening. He could probably do it with some trays, but he didn't need orthodontia the way my daughter did. And because I have terrible, very, very bad overbite when I was younger. In fact, I've done teeth correction several times. Okay, so there's our blue chip stamp. I've kind of grunged that up a little bit. So we have the blue chip stamp, or we have this like king corn, which adds a little bit of orange. We'll see what everybody says. Yeah, it would have been much better, yeah, to have gotten them done on your parents. So we'll say orange or blue. And then I think I'm going to stamp one of the numbers up above, or blue. Corn. Oh, so we have a vote from Terry for the corn. Yeah, I think that's good. I think too, because maybe the blue is too much the same. I could have maybe inked it up a little bit more. It's very similar to the green, right? So the corn pops a little bit more. Yep, the orange with the red. Okay, good. Good. Okay, we are going to glue it down. I don't even know. What are these? Does anybody know? Is that a regional thing? Premium King Corn stamp. There's little writing on it. I can't see. I have to get a magnifying glass out. I had never seen these till Debbie sent me some. What does it say? Where's my magnifying glass? Really curious. It's so small. Mash value 1 mil. So interesting. Does anybody know? I'm very interested to know, but I definitely want to get more of those. Oh, the corn pops. Did I? The corn pops for pop. The corn pops for pop. Okay. Okay, good. Now let's see. Once you do this, that's it. You can't, there's no going back. What does everybody think? We have, or you could say no numbers. So we have, I think it would be nice to have something kind of across there. So we have the smaller, or we have the large. I just kind of like that. Or the nothing. Large, small, or nothing. Is that what it is? It's a booze. Oh, well, I'm glad I used it then. Good old corn liquor. Oh, wow. Okay, we have a longer and we have a longer and a small. We'll need a need a tiebreaker. We'll need a tiebreaker. Oh, is it okay? So Terry's saying now the smaller. Oh no, wait, smaller. Okay, we need like Kathy, or let's see if Kathy or Brett will time it. So we have the oh, I'm probably confusing. Should we use the well, I'll say shorter or longer. So we'll call this shorter and we'll call that longer. Small, longer. Okay, there we go. Smaller, longer. Okay, perfect. Okay. Smaller, longer. Let me see if I could do it this way. I always feel like I'm more, let me get a different one. I'm more successful if I can do it. If I can do it that way where I can see it. And we'll get out our archival ink. Let me get a little piece of something to kind of off stamp it on. It's a little nerve-wracking, right? When you're stamping something and it's completely done. But it will be what it will be. Will be what it is. Ooh, I like that. Nice. I think that adds just what we needed. Yay! And we are done. That was good. Let me clean this off a little bit here. I love how that turned out. So there's my kind of my original one. And I loved finding out about the king corn stamps. I think those are really fun. So again, for anybody that came in late, these can be, where's all my props here? So I'm using mine for display, but now since I have two, maybe I will turn one into a card. So I've just had mine on display in I don't know what I did with it, but you can display it in a flower frog. I had a cool like clamp vise thing that I showed in the beginning, but you can very easily turn this into a card, a Father's Day card for a brother or uncle or your son. And I would just this is just a piece of what do I want to say, watercolor paper. So it has a little bit of texture, but this is like cheapy kind from, I don't know, Dollar Tree, someplace like that. And you can come in here and you can ink up the edges is what I would do. Can very easily glue it on the front. And then you can even stick a piece of coffee dyed paper or craft paper on the inside. You could do it double, right? Where you fold it, kind of like, you know, the Hallmark cards or cards in the store, how they have the two-sided, or you could just do the one side and glue that down and then write on that side. I think that's really cool. And I think it would be really great too if you were doing like a masculine journal, altered book or a masculine journal. Look how great that would look. Or you could just even display it like that. So super good. Look at this. I need to do a haul on this in a couple weeks, but this is a antique dictionary that my friend and neighbor gave me. What was this is so amazing. Now I don't see, I thought this one had, maybe I received 2 dictionaries from her. I thought it had a copyright in it, but I don't think it does, unless I'm missing it. Anyway, it's amazing. Look how cool it is. Very old. I think it's probably from the 1800s, and the pages are very fragile. Like, look at that. We have some old Scotch tape in there, but this is really cool. Oh, look at that. I didn't even notice. Isn't that cool? This is junk journaling here. The person didn't know, but they were doing junk journaling. So they took little pieces of, it looks like a paper bag, and glued the pages together. Is that cool or what? Oh my gosh. I mean, I love this book. It makes me love it even more. And they did it here. Is that cool? Oh, it's so good. Yeah, I did oh, here, look. So we have some more. Is that cool? Oh my gosh. I'll have to take a picture of that too and post it. But I came back with like a big Trader Joe's bag. I was helping her sort do like a family home clean out. They were getting ready to put on the market, and I came home with like, I was trying to be very like, I mean, a lot of stuff was donated. So we were sorting for donation and books they were keeping. And so the first haul that I'll be putting out is just kind of miscellaneous books, but like a lot of nature books, a lot of, what do I want to say? Like school books, educational books. And then she gave me like 7 antique books, and they're beautiful. And some of them had covers on them where, I don't know, a family member, maybe her mom or dad, had wrapped them in other paper. And this particular one, I took the wrapper off, and it is so beautiful. You can't even, like, for us to try to come in and recreate this would maybe be interesting to take a photocopy of. Right? Yeah, I don't decorate a lot in red either, Brett, but isn't that beautiful? Maybe I should see if I could make a photocopy of that. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. And look at this, like the spine is missing, but I like that. I love that the spine is missing, and then it's just showing the paper underneath. It's beautiful. Maybe there's 2 dictionaries, because I feel like one of them was like 1800 or something, like 1806 or something. But yeah, I will film a haul video. It was so funny. I went with her yesterday to help her do some more clean out stuff in the garage, and I told her that I did a haul of some of the books, and I filmed a video, and she goes, "Why?" Well, who wants that? It was so funny. She's like, "Well, who would want to watch that?" What? She's like, "That's so weird." It was so funny. And I said, "No." I said, "Are you kidding? I love to watch." I said, so it's very funny. She gets a kick out of ooh, look at that. Those have like little glued in thing. So it's so funny to her, the things that, you know, I'm into and people I know are into. It's like a whole new world. She can't even fathom. She can't fathom that it's a thing. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, good. Won't this be fun? This will be fun to scan. And maybe even the inside pages. Maybe we can do something fun with it. It looks like a person on your right. What does? What does, Tammy? It looks like there's a person on my right. Oh, you know what it is, Tammy? I think it's my plug-in camera because this is like an overhead camera. I hope so. We don't have any spirits in the house. It's an overhead, and so it does this blinking thing when it's trying to focus, and particularly if you're close up, although it's not too bad there, but it does that. It does that blinking thing. Oh yeah, Brett. Yeah. Send me a message about scanning. Let me show you really quick the darker image. Ooh. These, is it this? Like one of these looks like a person next to me? Maybe. Maybe. I'm by myself. Don't scare me. No, I'm not scared of stuff like that. I'm not. I'm not scared of stuff like that. I only have good energy. Let me grab these. I'm going to get up for a second, Brett, because I wanted to show you. I always feel good energy and loved ones around me. So this was an antique. Let me get all my inks out, because watch, I'll probably get ink or something on it. Let me clear the desk. Yesterday, Brett, we were having this big discussion on copy machines, and I was saying I don't like my copy machine, and it's really not good, and I regret buying it. And I had kind of researched it a little bit, but I probably should have. So the background for this one, which you can't really see because I did cover it up so much, but this, I made a photocopy of this antique. What even is it? It's like a receipt. New York Central and Hudson River Railroad. I don't know. It's something super cool that I picked up at the flea market. And it has this original stamp here. It's just very cool. So I photocopied it. I just laid it right on the screen and hit copy. So yesterday we were having a big discussion about printers and quality of printers. And so I wanted to go back and see. So I did that. This one right here was just a straight photocopy. I laid it on the glass. I put a white piece of paper and I hit color copy. So not too bad. And I actually like that it's creamier, and it took, because this is very yellow. Like, I don't know that I would enjoy working with it being so yellow. Like, I don't think I would have liked that. So I do like that it was creamier, and I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. And then I wanted to see, because we were talking about scanning, so then I scanned it in and I saved it as a photo, but I should have just done and left it as is, but I did adjust the contrast. So I went in and that was the only thing I adjusted, the contrast, because I wanted to see if I could get the writing to be a little bit darker. So this is scanned, saved to photos, and just the contrast adjusted. So again, it's creamier, but I do like that. I think it's a good copy, but I probably should have, left it. Well, and we can see here, so the contrast actually made it a little bit more yellow. So there's the scanned, and then there's the just right on the glass photocopy. So I'm pleasantly surprised. Let's see, let me. Oh my gosh, there's the whole, yes, the Dollar Tree. There was a whole Dollar Tree saga. Let me go back here. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, maybe there's somebody attached to the book. Oh, I can't tell my husband that. Here, I'll turn this around. Whoops, I'll turn it around and then we'll catch up. We'll chit chat a little bit. Let's see, 134. We're doing good. Although Kathy, you said you needed to go. Kathy, she said only an hour. Oh no, you're both seeing, you both saw something. Yeah, I don't want to scare you guys. I'm a little sensitive to stuff like that, and I don't feel anything. I feel like I kind of have some sensitivity to things like that. I don't want to scare you guys. I don't want to scare you, but it's mostly loved ones. It's mostly loved ones that have passed. That I have felt like kind of made themselves known, which I love because I love them. Let's see. He did, Angela. Oh my gosh. So I asked him to go. I don't want to throw, because I used to live in that town. So I don't want to throw, but it was super scary. It was not a good part of town. And we just felt, we definitely did not feel comfortable. And we just stuck kind of close by each other. It was the whole event. And I said, I'm never coming back here again. And it had been, I think the last time I stopped there was when my daughter was doing junior lifeguards. She might have still done them in high school. So it's like high school. So it's been a little while. But we survived. We got out of there, and we survived. Let's see. Yeah, it's probably the cover with the fingerprints, because it has, so I probably shouldn't be touching it with my inky fingers. My printer is an HP Envy. I'll write it down next time when we meet next week. I feel like it's a HP Envy. And I had kind of researched, and I was like kind of seeing what other people, and I know a lot of you probably know what is her name? Oh gosh, Tammy, and she's Creative Girl Vintage. If you don't watch her channel, make sure you do. She does more assemblage type, but she's done junk journaling, paper crafting, ornaments, all kinds. I love her vibe of a crafter that's on YouTube, that does that kind of thing aside from just all junk journaling. I love everything she does. It's exquisite. And I think I bought the same printer she has, and her printables look really lovely because she does do a lot of printed images in her work. So, but I think, like everybody's saying, I just don't know the printer well. It probably does a lot of things that I'm just not aware of. So Brett is saying, it really does depend, because sometimes with the printer resolution versus the scanner resolution can sometimes create happy accidents. Yes. And in this case, I love that it's not as yellow. I love that it's warmer and creamier, because I wouldn't gravitate towards using it as a background if it was. Is that not, what are we talking about? Are we talking about we saw spirits or something? Do you have that same one? Is it right? HP, not Epson. I had Epson for years. Like, I only ever bought Epson They were workhorses. I could have some days where I printed 50 invoices a day, right? Because my business was that busy, Etsy shop and then our website. So I was constantly, because I would use the invoice became our work order, right? I would write what the design was that we were making. That was like our worksheet, our worksheet type of thing. Yeah, so I'll write it down, Kathy, because I bet, yeah, maybe we do. So it's just probably me. It's probably me. I haven't spent a lot of time with it. And sometimes I get really irritated with it because, and the kids do too, and they have to print things for school. It disconnects from the Wi-Fi a lot. It's printing fine, and then all of a sudden it doesn't print and it doesn't connect, and I reboot my computer, I reboot the printer. So I have a little bit of a love-hate with it. Yeah, the wear and tear. Is that what it was? It was the wear and tear. Oh, so maybe it looked like a person, like a face. Is that what you were saying? Maybe. Yeah, I could kind of see that. And the back cover is almost coming off. Isn't that great? I should have done the antique books, like made that part 1 of the haul and not part 2, but I had them over on display and they've kind of had a home since I brought them home or I sorted them. And then the other ones I really wanted to get put away because they were sitting on my table. My table's now clear. It's going to stay clear. Does yours do that too? It's so aggravating. My old one never did that. And it does it constantly. And my son, he's trying to print something for school, for assignments he needs to turn in. It's the bane of our existence. Oh, I'm like, is it me? Is it something? And even when I reboot my computer and turn the printer off and on, it just still doesn't. And then recently I found if I and it's right next, it's like in a closet, but it's like directly to the right, my desk in the other room, kind of where I do, everything, Family Central, where I run anything computer for the business. So it's in like what do I want to say? I guess it's a coat closet. It's a weird place for a coat closet, but it's the coat closet. But my husband put shelves in it and I use it for office storage, envelopes and the printers in there. And then we kind of put a hole through the wall and like connected them all. So I don't know if that's it, but I noticed recently, if I just go over and I touch the screen, that shouldn't do anything because it's on. It's like idle that it'll print. That's my little weird thing I do. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, I may have to do that. I think I did maybe do that to my old one. I went the old-fashioned way and I plugged it. I went and got a cord and I plugged directly from the printer to the computer. And I think I don't have, because this one's a little bit newer. I probably bought it the year before last. Yeah. That scene from Office Space and the fax machine, that's how those items get treated. I don't know that. We're like a big Office watcher where the kids were, especially like during the shutdown. We watched a lot of Office. Okay. Oh, Amy, okay, you have an HP Envy as well. Uses 65 ink, runs out quick. And buying an HP for the first time, I did the ink thing where they keep track and they send it to me. I guess it's okay. I'm spending less on ink, but then again, I'm not using it as much as I did. I mean, I used to print, and I don't, I print my invoices from Etsy for the vintage shop, but I don't have as many sales as I did with the other business. Tammy has an HP OfficeJet 463 When I got it, I was only using it for copy every now and then, small one. Yeah, mine doesn't get, yeah, mine doesn't get. Mine uses 67, and yes, the ink runs out very quickly. See, I don't even know what number mine is because they keep track and they send it. Do I pay a monthly? Is it like $6 something a month? I think what it is, it's $6 something a month, like $6 a month. And then when I run low on ink, then they'll mail it out. Okay. Yes. Yeah. That's how I feel. That's how. Oh, it's a movie. I thought you were talking about the TV show. Oh, I'll have to watch that. I'll have to watch that. You have Insta Ink. Is that the same thing I have? Had big problem with it last year. Once straightened out, has been fine. I think is that the program where they mail it to you? Because that's what I have. And I think maybe they've only mailed me ink maybe twice since I've had it. And did I buy it? I don't think I bought it last year. I think I bought it the year before because my other one just died. It just stopped working. So then I was like, okay, what am I going to get? So, okay, it's a movie. I'll write that down because I have to see that. Maybe that'll be, I'll watch it this weekend. Let's see. Brett says, if you have a refillable ink, you know they can totally brick your printer. Oh, if you don't use it enough, does it just then stop working? Yeah, I don't have it's cartridges. It's the cartridges that you plug in. Yeah. Jennifer Aniston. No, I don't think I've seen it. I like Jennifer Aniston movies. Okay. I'll make hopefully it's on Netflix or Amazon. We have the Amazon thing. Oh, it keeps buying the ink. Yeah. they've only sent it once. Or no, I mean twice. Only twice. So. Oh, nice. All right. Well, we did better than yesterday. 146. What time is it? 12:46. Okay, this is perfect. I have a bag set aside of 10 things to take to the consignment because you guys know I've been, and I'm so proud of myself. Yesterday, I pulled out at least 12 items. They're in my area where I photograph, where I do all my photographs by the front window. So I get natural light. So I pulled out like 12 things new things to put in my Etsy shop. So that's good. That's my goal for the next couple days. And then I'm taking 10 things to consignment because our Assistants League has new boutique items, but then they have a really great consignment for, I guess they do new things too, but they do vintage too. So maybe half the store is, and so for me, it's great. It's 50%. They take 50%, but I've been taking like some of my mom's things that were heavier. I don't want to put in my Etsy shop. They're just too heavy. Like I think, and the things that I pulled out today were things I've had in my Etsy shop for a while, and I've been renewing them. And I think they're too heavy. They're too heavy, and I know people don't want to pay the shipping. So like I had like a Murano thing that I let expire. So that's going over there. And yeah, you can take 10 things. And then if they don't sell, they'll call us and then you can go back and pick them up. So it's a great deal. It is worth the 50%. And boy, those ladies, they want you to already have your price in mind. And they're all volunteers. And the first time I went, I was really schlubby looking. You know, I'd gone for a walk and I had these old sweatpants on, and I looked terrible because I told a local friend, I told her to go in there. She also has a shop and sells vintage. So I told her to go in there. I said, dress well, dress better, because I don't know. I was getting a really bad vibe from her. And I don't know if it's just because I look like I just rolled in off the street. But they're dressed very nice, and they have all these tables set up, And I think they probably have WorthPoint, but they will sit there and they'll look on eBay, they'll look on WorthPoint, because, you know, they're taking, and you cannot really go in there and buy things for resale. Everything's very retail. So they'll look on eBay because it's also a way for them, you know, to get money for their charities. And they, I think to date, have raised like $5 million. It's something really wonderful for the community. And they also have the only volunteer U.S. post office in the country. It's right next door, and they also run that. So it's all volunteer people. And the post office must give them proceeds. So they raise an incredible amount of money for the community. They do like free dental work for people. They have some kind of dentistry thing that they do. So it's a good thing. So it is worth, and yeah, every time I get a check, I think this will be my 4th time, and I've gotten like almost $50 to $60 check. So for me, it's worth it, because I would have probably just eventually taken these things to the thrift store or something. I would have donated them because they weren't moving. So let's see. Yeah, it's super worth it. Tammy's saying, yes, I have something in my cart of yours. Need to check out. Bird parakeet figurine. Oh, the little tiny one. Yeah, I do have a little tiny. I do have some other ones too that I need to list. I do have some other ones. I have like a matte pottery one, but that little parakeet one is it's really cute. Yeah, it's all volunteer. In fact, I know you guys need to go. The funniest story was last time I went in to do the consignment, this lady came in. So they have this big back room, and they set up tables on, it's only like Thursday, for first, second, and third Thursdays. And this lady came in and she sat down next to me. She was like, oh, like she sat in a chair, and she goes, do you know so-and-so? And I said, no, you know, I'm here to consign. And apparently she was there to volunteer, to get volunteer training. And she said, yeah, I'm here to do training for the boutique. And I said, well, you probably need to ask, you know, in the boutique, because this is all consignment. Everybody's waiting to consign. And, you know, they're kind of a well-oiled machine back there. There's like 3 ladies that do the pricing. And I have to say, when you sit down with them, they'll actually put the price tag on your item once, and you kind of agree, yeah, that's a good price. I like that price. And then some things just go right out. They go right out into the boutique. But she goes, yeah, I volunteered one day in the post office, and it made me so nervous. I couldn't do it because everything had to be like just so, and I wasn't fast enough, and I wasn't doing things a certain way. And so she was super stressed out, and she lasted a day. But, you know, it's the post office, and I'm sure most of the ladies have been doing it for years and years and years in there. So they probably are very like, you know, type A, you have to do it, you know, this way. So she was super stressed. She's like, I'm going to try the boutique. Maybe that. I said, well, that's probably better. Probably be more relaxed. They're more relaxed in the boutique. So anyway, all right, everybody, I will let you go. Let me go over really quick. What do we have coming up? So Leanne and I, so next Wednesday for the Junk Journal, the Little Golden Book, we will be on Leanne's channel. For that, we are doing tags and journaling cards. So we'll be doing demos on those. We won't be on for that long. We won't be doing a 4-hour thing. We'll make it much shorter. And next week, I think we are going to do a patriotic project, like a 4th of July project, because the 30th of May is just going to be an open discussion. We're talking about creative blocks, and we'll just have kind of an open discussion period on that on the 30th. And then I won't be with you guys on Thursday the 6th because my son Ryan is graduating from high school that night. So that night is his graduation. So I just don't think, if I think I can maybe, but I think there'll be too much going on. My parents will be in town and all that going on. So I won't be with you guys on the 6th. So I think that I may do patriotic next week on the 23rd, because otherwise we would be June 13th. And then that's getting kind of close to the 4th of July. So I think I just made up my mind. Yeah, we'll definitely do patriotic. I'm gonna write that down. It's fun. It's a decor item, bingo card. I think it'll be fun. Kind of getting back to my roots a little bit. So, and that is it. I thank everybody for being here. I hope you guys all enjoyed the project. If you have any questions about anything that we did today, leave them in the comments. I'm always watching the comments and replying back quickly. Good. I'm glad that sounds good. Perfect. I'm excited. It's such a cute project, and using some things I've had forever in my stash and I wanted to use. It's so cute. It's going to be fun. And that's it. So I thank everybody. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. I'll see you Wednesday, Thursday. Bye.